Now we're going to get more on this story with Gulru Gezer. She's a former retired diplomat, and is here in Istanbul. Thanks so much for speaking to us on this news hour. Israel has reached the conclusion that it won't be able to get a diplomatic solution to the situation on its northern border without going through a military escalation. That's what officials have said. What do you make of such a statement?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Well, Israel never wanted a diplomatic solution in the first place because it was never content with the outcome of the 2006 Israeli-Lebanese war. And from that time on, it wanted to change the situation. We're seeing actually Netanyahu, through his rhetoric and through his actions, trying to change the situation. He's constantly provoking Hezbollah in Lebanon to escalate the war so that he could create a better pretext for himself to, fully attack Lebanon. I don't think that he at any point thought of having a diplomatic solution, because the diplomatic solution is actually clear. There is the UN Security Council Resolution 1701, but this hasn't been applied. Well, you can ask the question, has Israel complied with any of the UN Security Council resolutions that have been adopted in the past? They haven't, with regards to Gaza or the West Bank or the situation in Lebanon. But I think Netanyahu had already decided that he wanted to change the situation in the north of Israel. He started with Gaza, and now there are also hostilities and tensions in the West Bank. And now he's going to go to the north of Israel. They've already stated, Israeli officials this week, that a new phase of the war has started, and they've shifted the center of gravity to the north. That's what they're saying. So what I'm afraid of is that even though Hezbollah will not retaliate in the manner that Israel wants to, I think it would be, they have to, but they will, it will be a well-calibrated response. So not to escalate the tensions, but nevertheless, Israel will continue with its ambitions to change the reality on the ground.
So much pressure on the wider region, because many have said, of course, that they don't want a full-on war because of the regional implications. But now many of Israel's neighbors, the so-called axis of resistance, will feel that they may need to get involved because of the escalation.
Well, precisely. We're at a very critical juncture. And Israel is waiting. Israel is waiting a response from Hezbollah. Israel is waiting a response from Iran, from the Houthis. But all of Iran and the axis of resistance, or its proxies, are showing utmost restraint at the moment, because they don't want to play into Netanyahu's, let's say, roadmap or his intentions. They know that if they will escalate the war, this will only facilitate Netanyahu to pursue his goals. Look, we have to be very clear here. We knew from the beginning that this war would not stop in Gaza. It will end in Gaza, but it would not stop in Gaza. Netanyahu has been telling this for a very, very long time. And if he can, if he's able, because there's at the moment no one to stop him, including the U.S., there is no will on the side of the U.S. Yes, the U.S. says we need a diplomatic solution. De-escalation is very important, but they're not doing anything concretely. So Israel will continue, and Israel might not even stop in Lebanon. So I think the tensions are really high in the region, and I think it's very important for all the sides, for the countries in the Arab League, the Muslim countries, the US, Russia, China, all to do what it can to really stop the escalation at this point. Otherwise, I don't think Netanyahu will stop. He has no intention to stop.
Of course, it's ordinary civilians who feel that the most. Gulru Gezer, really appreciate your analysis and speaking to us. Thank you very much.